Hi, friends. It's Leah from Pinkfresh. It says we're live, but there's always that little bit of delay. Oh my goodness. That came up really quickly on my laptop. All right. Hi, friends. Okay. Well, I haven't seen you all for a while now. It's been, goodness, I think almost a month since I've been live. I was on vacation for a couple of weeks, and then we had a independent retailer show in Las Vegas last week. So we had to cancel live last week because we had other things on our plate. But I am excited to be here with you today. I'm feeling a little rusty, so bear with me on all of this. It's been a while since I've been live. Heather will be joining us here shortly. She'll be moderating under the Pinkfresh Studio name in the comments. So um, you'll be able to chat with her and such. And now I have to remember everything that we go over in the beginning of our lives. So you really are going to have to bear with me today. Hi, friends. I see a bunch of you joining in the comments. Hey, Carissa. Glad to see you here, girl. All right. So while we're waiting for Heather to join us and jump in to moderate, let's just go over all of the things. Oh, there she is. There's Heather. She popped right in. First things first, hi and welcome. We're so happy you're here. If this is your first time live with us, let us know in the comments. We would love to welcome you personally. And if it is your first live, we hope that you enjoy what you see and you'll keep coming around. We are typically live every Tuesday here on the Pinkfresh Studio YouTube channel at 12 noon Central. We send out an email every day at 11:30. So if you have not signed up for our emails, be sure you do that. You can do that on our website. And other than that, I will probably not see as many comments come through once I start creating. So this is just a big blanket welcome to everyone, whether you've been joining us live for years or if this is your first time. And I see someone, welcome Kathleen to your first live. We're so happy that you're here. Oh, thank you, Louise. I really appreciate that. Hi, Mari. All right. Also, we give away a $15 gift card code at the end of every live. All you have to do is what you're already doing, chat with us in the live comment. All of your comments are left as entries, pardon me. Now, if you want to gain an extra entry into this, underneath the video, there's a button that has an arrow that says share. Click on it and go ahead and share somewhere, whether you share to Facebook, Instagram, maybe you have a crafty message or DM with friends that you keep up. You can share it there. Also, if you frequent a Facebook crafting private group and it's within their rules that you are able to share a live stream, feel free to share there. Make sure it follows their rules. There are some groups that don't like it, so make sure you are aware of that. Come back here, jump in the comments, let us know you shared, and that's an extra entry into that giveaway. Heather will pick the winner at the end of live today. And then we will send you a $15 gift card code to use on an upcoming Pinkfresh Studio order. So other than that, oh, one final thing, not an extra entry, but something that really helps the video, the reach of the video, both now and while it's on replay, is if you could just give the video a thumbs up. Super helpful. It's not an extra entry or anything, but it is helpful to us if you do that to gain a little bit more viewership for the video. All right, well, we've got quite a few people here watching today. I see quite a few, gracious, quite a few of you in the comments. So we probably should get going. I didn't have a whole lot of prep time, so we're pretty much mostly going to be doing everything together live other than the foiled sentiment. So I had those pre-foiled, but I do probably need to get going if we're going to land this ship on time. So bear with me while I get everything switched around and we will get going for the day. Click on the right camera. My goodness. Like I said, I'm feeling a little rusty about this. These are the products. We're kind of taking a deep dive back into the archives for my product choices today. I haven't used these in a long time and they're really beautiful. And so I thought that they would be fun to utilize together. Donna is asking, this is actually a great question to answer really quick. She was asking if our holiday release date has changed from July 29th. It has. That's why we're not doing a combined sneak peek live today. Our new release date for our upcoming holiday release is now Monday, August 5th. So sneak peek will be next week on the 30th, and then the release will go live on Monday, August 5th. And I see it's either cherry or sherry. I'm not sure which one is the correct pronunciation, but welcome for your first time to a Pinkfresh Studio Live. We're happy you're here. And I can't wait I hope that you like what you see. All right, we are using Botanical Bunch today. This is a nice big bouquet of summery flowers. It has a coordinating die to cut it out. And then we are doing 6-piece stencils today to color it in. I picked some really fun and summery colors, our Chasing Sunsets and our Rose Garden. And then I am going back to an old tried and true favorite for the greenery. We're going to combine olive and evergreen. All right, and then when we get to the end of it, I am going to somehow use it with the braided tag die set. I didn't do any pre-die cutting because I wasn't completely sure how I wanted to use this set yet. So we got to get going because I have 6 stencils to ink blend. We have a lot to do and we have to do all of the die cutting. And I do want to try to land this ship as close to that 1 p.m. mark as possible. So with that being said, we really should get going. So we're going to leave the stamp out. Let's grab my stamping platform here and let's get going. Now, I feel like this does fit on an A2. You know what? I think I have plenty of room. I was waffling between an A2 size panel and going a little bit larger, but I think it's skinny enough that I can still use the magnets to hold it down. That is kind of a bigger stamp, so it takes a minute to get off there. I'm going to heat emboss today. I just feel like that will help me save a little bit of time, hopefully. All right. And I believe somebody asked for some ideas on different product to use in place of this one. That is something that I would actually probably have to think about and go through things. That's not something I think I can really think of off the cuff. So I do apologize that I don't have an answer for that question just right off the bat. I wish I did, but I would probably have to look a little closer. So, all right, since I plan on heat embossing, I am going to prep my cardstock with just some anti-static powder. I always get asked where my anti-static powder tool is from, and it's that one from Tailored Expressions, pardon me. Okay. All right, that should be prepped enough. Let me get that back. Okay. I do need to grab my embossing powder really quickly, so give me just a second. I was going to use gold pearl, but I can't seem to find it. So we're going to just go with my tried and true gilded from Brutus Monroe. And then I guess after live, I'm going to have to search to figure out where I put my gold pearl embossing powder. All right. So I am going to not ink blend, I'm going to ink up my stamp a few times. I always feel like once you add that anti-static powder, it really dries the paper out. And so the first couple of impressions really soak into the cardstock. I'm also a very light stamper. So stamping platforms were definitely like one of the best things that ever came out for me to be able to stamp multiple times. Right. Let's see. Probably go one more. This is an extremely detailed stamp set. I want to make sure we get all of those little details. I just want to see if there's anywhere I need to focus on pressing. Okay. All right. Hopefully that is good. I think that's a good enough impression. I will clean my stamp off later. I'm not going to worry about it while we're live so that we can save a little bit of time. I see. So someone said a bad word with the word budget. I really do wish I would have been able to find my gold pearl embossing powder. I am just unsure of where I placed it. But the gold will look just as beautiful. So I am not going to fret about that. Look, I got nice coverage on the embossing powder. So we are good to go there. Now, once I break up my heat tool, Zoom is going to mute that sound. Looks like I kind of bumped my camera. There we go. Zoom is going to mute the sound. So if it goes a little silent, rest assured the audio will be back once I'm finished with the noisy heat setting. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I have to laugh I missed you said it. I just saw it in the comments as it was scrolling almost out of sight was I budget into right into my cart. That's really hilarious. That made me chuckle while I was doing my heat embossing there. All right, so we have a really beautiful, nice gold image. I am going to grab my grip mat because I like to ink blend, especially with heat embossing. I like to put the panel onto a grip mat because I feel like that also smooths out any warping that you might have gotten from the embossing. So I'm going to grab that really quickly. And hopefully it's sticky. It hasn't been used in a while, and I don't know that I've cleaned it. So here is hoping that it will stick down well enough at least. Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, gal, I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, since we moved our combined sneak peek to next week, I thought it would be fun to kind of dig a little deeper into the archives, and I haven't used the set in a long time either. So I thought it would be fun to create a nice big summery bouquet of flowers. All right, let's grab the stencils. And I've got my ink holders here. So this is a 6-piece stencil set. And in the end, this is what it will look like. My colors are going to be a little different than the mock-up. I think we're going to just go right in order of all of the stencils. The first 4 stencils are all of the flowers, and the last 2 are the greenery. If you're new to our layering stencils at all, I'm just trying to find some glare here. The stencil numbers are etched in the upper left corner. And then you'll see that there are little alignment guides in each corner. Now, I'm going to ignore the alignment guides because I am just going to align the stencil openings to that heat embossed image. Now, if you were using this set alone, and this is actually one of those sets where it would actually look fine used by itself and get that kind of no line coloring look. When you're using the stencils alone, those alignment guides align exactly to an A2 sized panel. So really great for using alone. However, I'm ignoring them because I need to align directly to the heat embossed image. So I'm just getting it lined up nice and straight here. All right. So let me see, I kind of make some color choices here. So it looks like they really all go together, and I'm going to do two colors. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab both colors. We're doing, like I mentioned earlier, the Chasing Sunsets. So those are the wrong one. The Chasing Sunsets color family and the Rose Garden. So we're going to start with Sunkissed and Cherry Blossom. And I am just going to pick and choose what colors I want the flowers to be. So, I mean, it does look like actually we have some new ones in here. So actually, I'm going to change my mind on that. I am going to start this stencil with Cherry Blossom. And all of these flowers are going to be in Cherry Blossom. And then as we make our way along the next stencils, that is when I'll have to pay attention to what color is where. And kind of ink blend accordingly. But we're just going to start out with Cherry Blossom. And I am looking at some of them. Some of these are middles. So I may grab that Sunkissed and just go over the middles a little bit. Just to give them a little bit more of an orange tone. I agree, Krista. Cherry Blossom is such a good color. It's one of my faves too. All right, so I know right here is a middle. So I'm just going to go ahead and go over it with a little bit of orange. I'm going to put orange into those other flower middles as well. And I think other than that, we're good. All right. So we have a nice start to our flowers. Really beautiful too. Oh, thanks, Jane. I'm glad you're liking my color choices here. Okay, stencil number two. Stencil number two, I'm going to have to be a little aware just because we have some detail layers and we have some non-detail layers in here. But now I went ahead and added orange to that middle. So I'm not going to want to make that an orange flower. So I'm going to grab my next color up in Rose Garden. I'm going to grab Peony. And we are going to make this just nice and multicolor. Now, these colors actually work well together. So if a little bit gets over the other one, it's not a huge deal. So I'm not worried if I have some overlapping, but we're going to grab Peony and I'm going to do the detail layers for the flowers that are already cherry blossom. I am going to make this flower Peony because I don't want to do orange on orange. And the same with this one right here as well. Anyone where I have added that little orange middle, I'm going to go ahead and make the flower pink. And then the rest of these flowers, I am going to make orange. All right. I think we'll go with pink on this one just to kind of keep the flow here. All right, I feel good about the flow of the pink flowers, so we will make the rest of these flowers that corally orange color. We'll start with sun-kissed. So let's just make a nice switch over to that. And just add color into the rest of these flowers. And then I think we have a couple more detail layers for the flowers to go through. Oh, we got a little dark, but that's okay. I pressed a little too hard. The good thing about it is even if you do blend a little bit deeper, this will still fade out a little bit and soften as it tries to basically dye the cardstock. So not a huge deal. And who knows, it may end up getting chopped off. You all know that I tend to chop flowers in multiple pieces when I'm creating cards like this. So we'll just have to see how it all goes. Okay, so stencil number 2 is complete. And we have the start of our pink and orange floral bouquet. I think it's coming along quite nicely. All right, we are on to stencil number 3. Stencil number 3, you just kind of have to find, there we go. You just got to find the groove. So these 2 areas right here are probably the best place to get lined up. And then just kind of move it until it looks like the rest of that stencil has fallen into place. And I feel like I'm kind of losing it here. Give me a sec. I keep finding it and then I keep losing it. There we go. Got it. And I'm just going to keep adding colors here. I am going to switch Sunkissed out to Mimosa. And then we're going to switch Peony out to Begonia. We'll get the correct brushes here. All right, let's actually start with Begonia. I'm glad you guys are loving the pink and orange. Definitely some of my favorite colors together. All right, I'm starting with Begonia. We're just going to blend in all of the details of the pink toned flowers. I am going to make this little flower that hasn't been colored in yet. I am going to keep it in the pink tone as well. So it's just going to be a little deeper with that Begonia. And I am basically just keeping that line that I created with the colors. So definitely more pink tone. The orange is a little bit more of an accent. I think that's orange. Yeah. Right. Then we're going to come in with Mimosa and do the orange detail layers. That was a lot of Mimosa. I always forget these ones just, even though they're lighter tones, man, my ink pads are still really juicy and they can get deep. The tones can get deep really quickly. All right, stencil number 3 came right along. And we have 1 stencil left for these beautiful flowers. So let's take a look. And they are just coming along quite lovely. Right. Let's grab stencil number 4. And so I think stencil number 4, I have to find basically this little area right here has not been colored in at all. And I just kind of got to find the sweet spot. And I think, let me check this. here real quick. Okay, I see what I'm doing. So there's this tiny little petal right here that hasn't been colored in, which helps. And that is this stencil opening right here. So if you align that and then basically just find the matching embossing lines, the rest of it comes together pretty well. There we go. Okay, so align that guy and then align this little flower center up here, and the rest of it comes together quite nicely. So just a couple of tips on that. I did forget to grab mulberry blush. So let me grab that really quickly. We're just going to jump up to Mango Sorbet. So we used every color from Rose Garden, but only 3 from Chasing Sunsets. And then I'm just going to add mulberry blush in on this final layer here. Mulberry blush is the deepest tone in Rose Garden, and it's quite deep. So I am trying to have a little bit of a gentle hand with it. And then Mango Sorbet will be pretty similar. Get these final little details in here. All right, so our flowers are officially done. And look at how lovely they turned out. I mean, I said summery, it's actually looking a little fall themed with the shades I chose. But I think when we go and add the green in, it still is going to have that summer feel. So let's do our last 2 stencils. Make sure I have this the right way. There we go. Stencil 5. Stencil 5 is just the very first layer of greenery. Just want to find all those little greenery pieces and align it. There we go. I see somebody asking about the ink refill storage case coming out. That will be later in August. It's not going to be in our holiday release, but it will be in our a little bit later release in August. So for green, we are going to do Olive and Evergreen. This is one of those colors that I used quite a bit for a while and then kind of got away from it. But we're going to go with a nice true green. You know me, I typically choose like an aqua toned theme for greenery, but I don't only do aqua. So we're going to go with nice classic greens. We're going to go nice deep tone. So we're going to start the blending with olive. And while they are both 2 of our darker tones of greens, evergreen is a bit deeper toned than the olive is. That is why I'm starting with the olive. I don't know that the olive would show up very well on top of evergreen. Maybe. I guess I haven't tried it, but something tells me it wouldn't show up as well. So we're going to go olive and then evergreen and get really lush colored greenery, because that is basically, at least in our area where we have had a ton of rain, and so far, not significantly high temperatures, everything is just crazy green. Right. Scary, Jan. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm over here talking about all the rain we're getting, and you have massive wildfires. That's awful. Well, I'm help happy to help you with some color inspiration for this stencil deal. All right. Right, so you'll notice I kind of ink blended deeper in areas and then blended the color out to make it a little bit lighter. That's just to give the image a little bit more interest and depth to it. And then we're going to add a little bit further interest by the next stencil, which will finish off the stems, I believe. And oh goodness, I just tore that. And we'll also add a little bit of detail into that olive colored greenery. Hi, Brienne. Happy you were able to join us here. Got a little fuzzy or something on the back of my stencil. All right, let's grab that. And let's line up stencil number 6. This is our final stencil. Basically, if you line up the stems that haven't been blended in, the rest of the stencil falls right into place. Okay. I'm just going to move this a little closer to me. Well, thanks, friends. All right. Oh, let's tape this down a little bit. I've got the grip mat, so the stencil shouldn't move too much, but nothing nothing wrong with having some reinforcements. All right, so then let's go in with the evergreen, which as mentioned is a deeper tone green, a little different tone than the olive, but really makes for a nice lush greenery. So if you're looking for a really lush summery greenery, I do really love olive and evergreen together. And we are almost complete or finished with the blending here, just checking the time. I think we're doing pretty good. Someone is asking if I got ink on my pinky. I don't think so. Thanks for letting me know. I think we're good. Thanks for making me check that. That would have been awful if I had taken it off and ruined something, especially after 6 layers of stenciling, right? Oh, thanks, Louise. It's nice to hear. I love to hear that. All right, I think we're probably good. So let's just wipe that clean. I am just wiping my stencils clean currently with a dry, lint-free cloth. After the live is over, I'll clean them a little more extensively with just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol that I keep on my desk in a spray bottle. And there we have our finished floral image. And I think it did turn out really lovely and summery. Just feeling kind of fall vibes until I did the greenery. But now I definitely think it has that nice fresh summer feel to it. That turned out super fun. All right, we are officially done ink blending. So give me a second to reset my desk here a little bit. Don't need these. I will clean these later. Right. Let's go ahead and die cut the image out real quick. Oh, thanks, friends. Glad you like it. Yeah, cutting plates. Thanks, Paula. Okay. I'll just use a couple of these little pieces of tape to hold the die down. It's a pretty big die. I think in the end, I'll probably end up chopping a bit of these flowers off, but we'll see when we start to put the card together. It's a pretty easy one to line up. I just want to make sure it doesn't shift while it goes through the machine. So I'm going to tape it down pretty well here. All right. And I'll be back once it's die cut. All right. And there we have our gorgeous florals. Now, in true Pinkfresh fashion, we have some inner pieces that, well, I might just have a couple that didn't pop out already, but just a couple of inner chads that really just help make the image come to life even more. I love those little peekaboo areas that we add. It just gives it so much more. Oh, hi, Susie. Happy to see you back. Ow, goodness, I just stabbed myself. Wow, Leah. Anyway, sounds like 6 weeks in Australia would have been super fun. I'm kind of just back as well after a couple of weeks in Montana and then a work week in Las Vegas. So, but welcome back. We're glad you're here. I did totally just make myself bleed a little bit when I stabbed myself. It should be okay. It's not too bad. All right. So there we have that. So I I kind of have to do a little card planning right now. Let me get this removed and thrown away. Because I know I want to use that braided tag. I gotta find it here. I know I want to use the braided tag die, but I have to somewhat figure out my card design. And I do think I want to use some of our glitter cardstock too. I'm just not sure what color. I do know that our color sampler and our metallics sampler are both in stock, so I know I have both options for that. Okay, so we've got those options of colors here. That pink might be nice, but let's take a look at the metallics as well. Yeah, already trimmed the top off this, but I guess not. Because I mean, gold would be an obvious tone that would match really well. Let's see here. Oh, I have never even opened this one. I think I must have grabbed an unopened one. That's okay. We will just run it real quick together. Goodness, hopefully that wasn't too loud. Okay, so then in the metallics, I'm not going to use silver because it just doesn't match at all. So we're going to nix that. But we do have champagne as an option, and rose gold and gold. So I've got these as options too. And the rose gold actually looks kind of pretty with that as well. Susie, if you're asking about this, this actually is this is actually one from probably one of our very original Essentials die releases years ago called, this is Braided Tag. I think it is actually from our very first release of Essentials. So I've got rose gold and champagne here. I think I'm actually leaning towards the rose gold just because it kind of brings in the tones from the Rose Garden inks a little bit better. So I think I'm leaning towards that rose gold color. All right, so let's grab a sheet and let's trim it down to size. And I'm just going to do an A2 size panel. So first things first, let's just cut out the outer edge from this guy, from the rose gold panel. And we'll use the little inner pieces, like as you know, we tend to do at Pinkfresh. We've made all of the details separate so that you can use them, intertwine them, use them different ways. Um, so let me grab my die cut machine here. And I want to center this as best as I possibly can because I am going to use the rose gold edge to edge on my card front to make a little arch frame for the flowers to poke out through. All right, I think this will cut without bubble mailer. If not, I'll just do it again real quick. I think we're good. I mean, I don't think there is a way to keep the hole from punching. I am not going to worry about it too much because um, I'm only going to use that inner part as kind of a peekaboo element. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I have my little window here. And I think the flowers are just going to, I think I'm going to trim them a little bit actually and let them pop out just from one side. So then I can add the detail layer in there and also have room for a sentiment. So I mean, you could possibly partial die cut it, Amy, but I do think that that would be a little finicky because then you wouldn't really find a good way to cut the bottom. So I think kind of probably a no for the most part. Great. So I think that's about how I'm going to arrange the flowers in there because I do want a little bit of the details to poke out. Okay, so up next, this is where we're going to need to do a little bit of measuring, all of that good stuff. I need an A2 panel, just a blank A2 cardstock panel. So I'm going to go ahead and trim one of those down. I wasn't exactly sure how many I would need today. Okay, so we've got our panel. We are going to just tape these together a little bit. I'm going to do it right on the cutting plate so then I can remove the glitter from it. So I'm just going to temporarily adhere this down. For now. Okay. So then I want the two detail layers. Thanks, Emily. Just trying to find different ways for you to use your products. And, you know, cutting the surface should be down, face down, Leah. And would be a smart option. Okay. So then I want that just to be nice and centered. I'm not completely sure how I'm going to get the tape removed. I may actually just have to cut these with the glitter in place. That may just have to be how this one goes, which is okay. Now this one I maybe should have tried a bubble mailer, but I'm just going to see if adding my little pieces of paper help. If not, we may have to try this again, but let's see. All right. True test if this actually worked. Let's gently pull everything up. I think it worked just fine. So no big deal on that. Okay. Now, bubble mailer, a lot of these little inner pieces probably would have stuck to it, and I would have to do less of this, but that's okay because I didn't think about it. And in the end, not a big deal because we are still doing great on time, even with this added die cutting. Interesting enough, I normally would have done this die cutting off camera, but I'm actually kind of glad that we did it together. So you got to see sometimes how my brain works and maybe easier ways to use little details like these. Now I need to clean my plate off, so give me just a second. Oh, thanks, Heather. All right, thanks for bearing with me for that. I just don't like having those little chads everywhere. I still actually already have them all over the dress I'm wearing. Goodness, hot mess over here. And I'm going to gently remove the tape from the glitter. I don't want to pull up any because we're using this piece. And then I think we're good. I don't think any chads were left behind, so I can go ahead and put this die away. Okay. Now, even though I have cleaned as I go, I still have a humongous mess over here. And then look at how fun this is going to be. I love it. Okay. I am going to use this. I may need to tuck. Oh, nope, that doesn't even matter. There's nothing down there, so it's not going to show. I am going to arrange the rose gold glitter underneath so that there is glitter peeking through the peekaboo areas. And then the flowers will kind of show. And I think that's just a lovely little detail here. Oh, thanks, Darcel. I hope I said your name correctly. All right, I created a card base already. So basically right now it's just time to start doing some assembly. Let me get my glue here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this glued down. And I have not used my glue in ages, so it might be a little gross in here. So give me a second while I unclog this. I should have thought about that before going live. That's okay. Oh, thanks, friends. Right. So let's get some liquid glue. It will take the liquid glue a little bit to set on the glitter cardstock. So I want to make sure that we get a good glue on there. And then I got a little crooked. Right. So I think it shows through. Sure does. So let's grab. The only thing that I use clear box for now is as a paperweight to hold stuff down like this. We are going to let those meld a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and throw some foam tape on the back of my arch while we wait for those to adhere together. Just going to throw some thin foam tape on here. Maybe do this a little bit more on screen for you guys. Oh, thanks, friends. I always love using something that I haven't been able or I haven't thought to use in a while. It's kind of refreshing to take something, pull it out of, kind of, do a little bit of a deep dive into the product catalog. Right, let's see here. And yeah, this is something that you could even, you won't have the decorative pieces, but this is this you could definitely do, if I could find the words here, you could use our nested arches to do a very similar idea for this. Okay. There we have it. And look, we've got our beautiful arch all ready to go. We'll tuck our flowers in here a bit, like that. So, some of those details are not shown. That's okay. It was mostly about getting them shown on the one side. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do, I am going to fluff a little bit of the flowers on the left here. I actually think I might adhere the flowers directly down to those foam strips, because then I'll know they're right exactly where I want them to go. So I know I want that little leaf right there too. Kind of back up my edge. All right. We're only going to end up trimming just a little bit of the flowers off. So it's not too bad. I know a lot of you cringe when I start hacking away at flowers, but it's not too bad this time. So this is something I like to do. It might seem a little fussy, but it does for me. It actually really helps me keep the placement of flowers is using the foam strips on the back to adhere them down. And then I know the flower piece is where I want it. And then it's pretty easy to trim away the excess as well. And then I know it's going to look and it's going to be right where I want it to be. Okay, let me grab my scissors and we are going to trim away the little excess pieces on the side. If you can't bear to trim those off, you could always just grab a larger envelope and keep them there. They're so minimal that it really does not bother me to trim them away. A little more flower fluffing here. Okay, let's go ahead and remove the rest of the pieces and get this adhered down to our front. Into my fingers. This one is going to be kind of fussy here. There we go. Got it. Now, since I covered up a lot of the foam tape on the left-hand side, I'm just going to add some glue where I did cover that up. Well, thank you, Louise. I appreciate that. Looks like that did glue down. I was not ready for it to glue down yet. Okay. There we go. So it glued a little crooked. You know what? They'll never know if I just trim that little bit of excess away. No one's ever going to know, except for you guys who watched it come together live. Yep, Brenda, I definitely can. Typically, I will reinforce cards after I'm done and I'll add a little dimension here and there where I feel like it needs it. So I just do it afterwards to save time. All right, and then I'm probably not going to do it right this second, but I'll just go ahead and glue that directly to the card base. But let's get a sentiment ready and we'll throw on some jewels. So this, I did kind of a little bit of a last minute thought on the sentiment. I just am going to go with some pre-foiled sentiments from the Modern Script set. So I'm just going to grab the ones I have here. I'm going to find the one that I feel like works the best for my card today. These are not in the supply list, keep in mind. So I'll have to add that later. All right, so we've got best wishes, many thanks. I'm kind of digging the ones that are black. So I kind of like many thanks. I also have in you're the best. Ooh, and I've got both options in You're the Best. Let's see. I'm actually really leaning towards You're the Best here. I also have Best Wishes. Well, thank you guys. Glad you like how it turned out. Let's see. Okay, I'm leaning towards You're the Best or possibly this Best Wishes. I think Best Wishes I only have in the solid foiled version. So let's see. Oh no, you're totally fine, Brenda. No worries about that at all. Okay, You're the Best or Best Wishes. You're the Best. Or Best Wishes. It's a hard one, friends. They're both really nice. Hmm. I do like the black popping on this. Best wishes means you could send it for birthday or anniversary or celebration of any sort. Hmm. You're the best would really work for thank yous or just telling someone that they're the best. Really, I'm leaning towards best wishes, honestly. I do like how much it pops, and I do like that it can be used for um birthday. And I feel like the gold just gets lost on there. So I'm definitely going to not do gold. And I do think that I agree. I think the reverse foiling shows a little bit better. So, process of elimination here, friends. We're going to go with best wishes. All right. I will clean these up afterwards. I'm just going to kind of shove them off to the side here. And let's just add some foam tape to the back. Now, of course, you could nix all of the foam tape I'm adding. You know, we tend to love to mention Pinkfresh Studio. But if you wanted to make it a little bit more post office friendly, you could just glue these down. I agree. Sentiments can be the hardest decision. Oh, stay behind where they can't see you, friend. Okay. It's a tiny little piece. Let's find somewhere to put it. Maybe we'll put it right there. And then I think it's just going to slide right into that little corner down here. Oh, thank you, Melanie. I appreciate that. All right. And I think we're going to be really close considering all of the work. Considering I'm a slower crafter and I left all of the die cutting, I think we're doing pretty good here. All right, we're just going to tuck this in here, just like so. And I can't leave off jewels. So I'm probably going to have to ask for forgiveness later because I did forget to check inventory on these, but I'm going to add some glitter drops to this. And no, I think I'm going to just do the blossom and butterscotch. Maybe champagne. Never leave off jewels. I know, right? That. Not sure about the champagne. I may leave those off, but I've got them out just in case. All right, let's get a few of these guys flipped over. Okay. I wish that the glitter drops did the thing where you could just shimmy shake it so that they all flip over and lay flat, but they're just not the right size for that. So you kind of got to do the flipping. Right. And there's so much going on. I think I'm going to focus mostly on just the center of some of the flowers, just to bring a little bling in here and there. Okay. And we'll just alternate colors a little bit. Let's go a little larger. Yeah, I think this is going to be really pretty. Just adding the flower centers. Maybe not all of them, maybe just the best ones. And you'll notice I did do some orange and some of the purple flowers because I had made those flower centers orange. So just kind of trying to stick in the color family. And I will be done here just momentarily, Heather, so we can pick a winner and land the ship. So not too bad, just a couple minutes over time here. And maybe one more. Oh, that did not flip over. Oh, it is being stubborn. Just a new guy. And I think we're going to call that good. So let me get these glued down. Of course, that happened. It's okay. Oh, goodness, Leah. Butterfingers here. It's okay. At least I think I know where they're going. All right, maybe if it will. Go. I'm concentrating, so I apologize for being so quiet. They technically are not butterscotch colored flowers, but that butterscotch glitter drop really kind of takes on the color behind it. So it still works. And it looks like Heather went ahead and announced the winner of the $15 gift card code. Congratulations to Audrey Romney. You have won today's $15 gift card code. All you have to do is email me to claim your prize and give me 2 to 3 business days to get back to you. Heather has given you all of the information there, and just make sure you spell my name correctly. It's Lea at pinkfreshstudio.com. There's no H on the end of it. When it's over, I will glue this down to the card base, but this is exactly how it will look on the card base. So I don't need to take the time to do that right this second. All right, let me get the camera flipped back around. I'll say bye, and you guys will be on your way for the day. All right, thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks for dealing with me while it's my first time back crafting live in almost a month. So thanks so much for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed today. And we will be back next week with our holiday release sneak peek, and it's a good one. Our holiday release is always big and beautiful, and I think you guys are going to love it. So can't wait to give you guys a little peek at it before it all goes live. Heather and I will be doing that together next Tuesday, same time, same place, right here on the Pinkfresh Studio YouTube channel. All right, friends, have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next week. Bye.